I'm just being really, really open and transparent with you, Akhi. When I came back from Medina, we never had a place to live in. We were living out of suitcases. So we would go to my parents' house in the weekend, me and my 4 kids at that time, because I only had 4 at that time.
Allahu Akbar.
And then during the week, either we would all go back to my in-laws, right? Which is about half an hour, 45-minute drive, depending on traffic. Or sometimes my wife would just go and I would stay where I was. Because where I was staying was closer to where I was working. It was 10 minutes away, you know? So it wasn't an ideal situation, an ideal way to live your life. And then, you know, as a man, you start to say like, did I do the right thing? I'm like, going to Medina was my dream. It wasn't my wife's dream. It was my dream. You with me? As a supporting, loving, caring wife, she followed. Not all brothers' wives want to make that. It can be challenging, lonely when you're over there. She followed my dream. At the time, I'm like, what have I got to show for it? I'm living between houses. We don't even have a bed that can. Everyone, the kids don't have their own bed. There's like 6 to a bed. You know, waking up with a toe in your nose here and a knee in your back there. That was the norm. But I always had a feeling that inshallah it's gonna change one day. You with me? And that hope, my brother, is what I clung on to. And that hope is what I cling on to now with my journey with cancer. The moment you take away hope from somebody, that's it, it's finished. You with me? If you're facing, like, you know, may Allah protect you, but if a person's facing a life-threatening disease, don't take away their hope. Because you take away their hope, you take away everything. My health is slowly degrading away. As from a medical perspective, that's what they tell me when I go for scans. I don't think you like looking at me now would necessarily say that I look sick. I don't sound sick. I'm not acting like I'm sick, but inside something that I can't control. There's things going on that's beyond my control. Don't take away that hope. So anyway, I'm working away, and as a result of being stressed and the situation I'm under, not making too much money, I naturally just started to lose weight. You with me? So I'm not eating like I was. I'm not going gym like I was. I actually started playing racquetball with my father on my personal Instagram. You'll see some, you know what racquetball is, Akhi? It's like squash, but it's a bigger, the racket's a bit different and the balls are a bit bigger as well.
Fine, okay.
So I started playing that. So I started to slim down. Akhi. I went down from like what I was, 82, 83, 75, 74, 70. 69, and I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of liking this new lean look, because naturally that's how I was before I went to Saudi. You know, I've always been a slim build. But you know, Akhi, there's no love like your mother's love. There is absolutely no love like your mother's love. And I alluded to this on the very first video I put out, right after I got diagnosed with cancer, which subsequently went viral. Never had a video that has 80,000 views before. That video went viral. And I mentioned that, you know, how it came about, and it was basically I started losing weight. I put it down to stress. My mum was like, "You need to go get a blood test." And I was like, "No, mum, I'm cool, man. I'm all right, man. I'm just a bit, you know, just stressed out and whatnot. And plus, I'm exercising." She goes, "No, your face is looking gaunt, meaning, you know when it looks like skeletonish. You know,
you can see the bones and stuff.
Yeah, you see I'm starting to see this, you know, and I'm naturally a worrier. I worry about a lot of things." So,
okay, that's like me.
Yeah, I don't like putting myself in a situation.
My wife gets annoyed at me. She's like, "You're just such a warrior."
And it's like, it's annoying because I don't want to, you know, well, maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe I should take some blame. But as a result of being a warrior, it prevented me from getting help earlier. Who knows, right? Who knows what I could have prevented had I just not been that way, right? And got help earlier. But now it's too late for shoulda, coulda, wouldas. But what I can do is I can share my story with people, you know, so they don't make the same mistakes that I made. In any case, I'm talking about for months, I put it off. I used to fall asleep. My dad reminded me of this the other day. I remember, but he reminded me. I would come home. Remember, I'm living with my parents as a 33-year-old man, which again I was struggling with as well. But there's no shame in that. Some families do that. Some cultures do that, and it's good. But it was difficult for me to deal with because it's not as if we were all living with my parents. It's like my wife's with her in-laws. I'm battling with, have I let my father-in-law down? Like, he gave me his daughter. That's tremendous. And now what have I got to show? Alhamdulillah, may Allah bless him. He has never, ever made me feel any less of a man. And that's a blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me, in a sense that He's allowed me to be connected to a family like that. Walillah alhamdu wa shukr. So anyway, I'm losing weight. Eventually she told me to go get a blood test. So I did. Went, got the blood test, and I think I did a stool sample. And then she's like, oh, have you, like after a couple, 2 weeks, have you called them? I'm like, no, Mum, like if there's a problem, they're going to call me, right? I don't want to call up to search for remember before I said you have to search for the good in the evil. I don't want to search for no evil when things seem to be going good. Yeah, so I didn't say nothing, and then eventually they called me and I was like, hi Mr. Beaumont, that's my name, Chris Beaumont, my birth name, sorry. Yeah, your results came back and everything's clear. So I'm like, phew, kind of thing, you know. So I crack on, start to lose more weight, and I don't notice it because it's happening to me,
To you, right,
you know.
so-
And I'm, again, because of those external factors that I mentioned about being stressed out and whatnot, I just put it down to the stress. And I was obviously exercising. I was actually going quite hard actually, in the gym. And my mum said, no, you need to go for a second opinion. And that took a long time for her to persuade me to do it again. Until one time she said, you're gonna kill me. You with me? And to hear your mum say that, that was hard. So I'm like, all right, Mum, all right, I'll go. So I went again for another stool sample and a blood test. But this time, I believe he was my GP. This time he didn't run exactly the same test, akhi. He was looking for something that he wasn't looking for the first time. But obviously I didn't know. I just thought I was just repeating the test. And some time went, I hear nothing. So again, me being a worry, I'm thinking, khalas, no news is good news, as they say. No news is good news. So one day, I remember this like it was yesterday. I was sleeping. I was fast asleep. It must have been about 9 o'clock or whatever. My mum comes in the room and said, oh, the GP just called, because they called her mobile. The GP just called and they want to speak to you. So I'm panic inside. I've just woken up, number one. I'm disorientated to my mum saying, call him back. So now I'm getting scared. So I say to my mum, like, what did they say? She's like, I don't know. They wouldn't speak to me because, you know, for confidentiality reasons, they can only speak to the person. So then I'm getting upset, thinking, well, like, why, if nothing was wrong, why won't they just say, oh, just let him know everything's fine? So I'm panicking inside. And what's happening, Akhi, not intentionally, but the panic that's happening inside is causing me to act a certain way. I don't want to act like this, but I'm scared and I'm nervous. You with me? So I call up the GP surgery, and the assistant answers, or the secretary answers the phone. I nearly get into an argument with her because I'm so scared.
Yeah, you're panicking.
I'm panicking. I'm like, you know, you just called my mum. She's like, yeah. So why didn't you tell her what's up? If nothing's the matter, why didn't you just say that? So I'm getting into an argument, and she's only just trying to do her job. But it's because I didn't know how to handle the emotion. You with me? And I think this is what happens to a lot of us when we act a certain way and we say things. It's because we feel we have these emotions, but we just don't know how to deal with them because they don't feel nice. You with me? It feels uncomfortable, and as a result, we tend to say things that we end up regretting, or do things that subsequently we end up regretting. Anyway, I got through to the GP, and he says that you have to come in. We want to speak to you. So I was like, okay, cool, come in. That was, if I'm not mistaken, on my birthday, 20th of August, right, 2018. So I went in, and then he told me that they've seen something in my my blood, or they've seen something in the results, and they want me to take a colonoscopy. So it was me and my wife here, just me and my wife in the surgery. And I said, a colonoscopy, what? I've never heard of that word before. And he's like, this is what he did to me. This was the first point, if you like, in the trauma that I subsequently went through, right? He went, you done like this. He went, we have to put a camera up, and he went like this with his finger. And I said to myself, I'm just a normal, regular black boy from Southeast London. You understand? Like I'm sure, you know, your demographic and where you grow up, and, you know, around your friends, like anything that's connected to anything internal in that part of your body is a no-no.